so I wanted to share today's video on why I don't really manifest anything specific anymore. So I do want to point out that I do believe that our soul guides us with everything that we're supposed to be doing at specific times. And I think, you know, sometimes we really are supposed to be doing something for that period, for our growth. And then, you know, we'll get to another stage and then we realize, oh, actually, I just needed to do something with that, but it's not my ultimate. So I have manifested specific things, specific people, specific things. And, you know, I did do some of that with various different methods. I'm somebody that, like, I try everything. You know, if I find something that I'm drawn to and interested in, then I give it a go and see how it works out for me. And it's only really over time that you really know what works for you and what doesn't. Some things you're like, okay, that worked for me then and that doesn't work for me now. Or I've kind of gone a step further with my truth and I now can see why, you know, I don't want to do those things anymore. So I have manifested many things like that were specific, and I actually don't regret that, because I actually think I needed to rewire some beliefs quite heavily at that time. So, but where I knew at the time when I was doing it that didn't feel like my ultimate thing to do. I just knew it. It felt like I was in my head a lot. I never really got into the bliss states. The bliss states is where you just feel absolute joy, radiance, bliss, for no real reason. You could just have nothing in your life and you just literally feel like you're radiating joy and happiness. And it's a very content feeling. And when I'm in the bliss state, I actually feel like I don't even care about anything or really need anything, or you just completely present and happy with what is. And I really missed this when I was doing a lot of affirming. So when I was heavily manifesting, I never really got into those bliss states for a few years. Like I said, I don't regret doing the heavy affirmation, because what I was tending to do, I was in a bit of a pattern where I would get into a bliss state and I would get everything that I'd ever desired just immediately like that. And then I would, some old patterns would come up and I would react to them, and then it would kind of go away again. And what I found was that affirming really, really heavily for a period of time actually really helped me rewire myself and rewire a lot of limiting negative beliefs that I'd built up over a lot of years and decades. And it also helped me like to watch my mental diet. But I definitely knew when I was doing it that couldn't possibly be the ultimate for me personally, to be affirming constantly for every little detail, watching my mental diet all the time. It basically put me in analyzing mode and analytical mode, and it put me in my head and it took me out of my heart. So I might have been having the experiences, but I wasn't feeling good. I wasn't feeling them. I was feeling, I don't know, just very 3D and out of that magical bliss state, and I really missed it. And recently I've like tapped back into that bliss state, and I realized that this is, you know, when I'm in that state, I realize I don't even care to manifest. You know, yes, I manifest some things on like energy or youthfulness or general abundance, but I don't have attachment to specific things. I don't want specific things. I just want something to resonate to my bliss state and allow it to flow. Kind of like a co-creation with the universe, that we're not forcing things through, we're sort of gently feeling that bliss and that joy that we want to experience. And then maybe if we want to share that with a person, we're feeling that shared experience of bliss state with somebody that can share that frequency with us. We're not trying to like hammer a star into a square hole, you know, like a star peg into a square hole. We're allowing sort of our higher self, or the divine higher plan that we wrote for ourselves, to merge with our desires as humans. And I don't think either is right or wrong. I just personally feel that for me, my joy state and my bliss state is allowing those two things to kind of flow together and find the balance of, you know, yes, I'd like to be abundant, but being really relaxed about that and allowing the abundance to come in the way that's in my ultimate joy. Because I don't just want to get this specific money from, you know, something that I keep trying to hammer in, when there's just so much joy for me waiting over here in a slightly different way. So yeah, I've definitely come to the point where I personally want to be a co-creator in my life with spirit, my higher dimensional self, that can see from a broader perspective. Also, you've got this thing with different manifestations happening at once. So what if your highest manifestation is like to be in union with your divine soul connection, but then you keep trying to manifest a specific person that isn't that, then you've kind of got these weird two things going on at the same time. And by manifesting this, you're actually not going to experience this, which if you let go a little bit and you just felt into the feeling of sharing yourself and having these amazing experiences with your, you know, divine partner, your divine union, then you can allow that to come in the best way. So yeah, for me, I've gotten to a stage where I want, like, I do manifest, but I also allow. And for me, it's so much more about just feeling, being present, experiencing it. And then maybe in the morning, I will write my gratitude list. Maybe I will listen to a few subliminals. Maybe I'll do, and what I find is visualizations come more naturally in this state too. I find when I'm trying to force a visualization, I just can't feel it. Whereas when I'm in a sort of natural bliss state, I feel that I naturally start to visualize, and I see it as a really positive experience, and I can feel all the emotions of it. Whereas just affirming is quite emotionless. So yes, you might get your date, but you don't really know how that date is going to feel, you know? So that's just where I'm at, that I'm letting go of a lot of specific manifesting, and I'm more in a co-creation of flow that feels so much more joyful. It allows me to remain in my heart center. It allows some doors to be left open for magical surprises of how things are going to come in, you know? And you know, it allows for my intuition to come in and to help guide me on the path. You know, it doesn't like override intuition and heart choices, which I feel really affirming does. But like I said, I do think we have to follow our hearts in each moment, because I really needed to do that to rewrite some of my beliefs, and I do not regret it at all. So, you know, our soul is leading the way, and we know the path for us. So if you're really pulled to affirming all the time, then, you know, maybe that's what you need to do for that period. But I am just sharing my experience, and maybe some other people have had the same experience, that, you know, we've done that, we've gotten results, but actually it didn't feel that great. And it didn't feel like that true radiating heart joyful experience when doing that. So yeah, I'd love to know what everyone else's thoughts are on this, and I'll speak soon. Bye.